Hello students, today I am going to explain about module 4. In module 4 there are two chapters, alternative building technologies and alternative roofing system. Under alternative building technology, so these are the contents: uses of arches in foundation, alternative for wall construction, composite masonry, confined masonry, cavity walls, rammed earth, ferro cement and ferro concrete building components, material and specification, properties, construction methods, application. Next, top down construction, my one construction technique. In another chapter, alternative roofing system, the concepts of filler slabs, composite beam, panel roofs, masonry walls and domes. So these are the contents you are going to study in module 4. Before explaining module 4, so you must know what is the course outcomes of this module. So the students can be able to recommend various types of alternative building materials after studying this module, and also what and all technologies can be used to choose the alternative building materials, and you can design energy efficient building by considering local climate conditions and building material. So in module 4, I'm going to explain about arches. Arches are one of the efficient forms of the structural system. They're widely used in buildings and bridges since ancient times. So ancient time, everywhere you can observe the arches. So it is more economical compared to the other types of the structure. So arches is a structure which is constructed to span across an opening. It is generally consists of small wedge shaped unit which are joined together with the mortar. So however, the arches either you can go for the steels and RCC for the build, or without using that also you can construct the arch. So the behavior of the arch is mainly depends on the geometric characteristics. So main elements of the arches are: one is the rise, span, thickness and width. Rise, span, thickness, these are all called elements of the arches. And also it is mainly depends on the material used for the construction. Already I have told you can go for RCC, PSC, or you can go for masonry also. And types of loading, that is very important. What type of loading is acting, so based on that arches are designed, and support conditions provided. So arches should be supported with the other, so what support, that is also very important. Arches are constructed normally in masonry. Conventionally, masonry arches are constructed using bricks or stones with the cement mortar. So bricks, either we will go for bricks or stones, but it should be bonded with the cement mortar, or you can go for plain cement arches also. The effective use of arches in construction for various purposes will lead to increase in the strength of structure and reduction in the overall cost of the construction. The different shapes of the arches are shown here. So it is mainly classified based on the according to its shape, according to number of centers, or according to the workmanship, or according to the material of the construction. So this is a various shape of the arches you can adopt it for the construction. Already you studied this one in BMC, building material construction. Next one, briefly I'll explain what is the elements or geometric of the arches or types of the arches. First one, introduce. This is introduce. So introduce, that is inner curve of the arches, inner curve. Next one is extrude, that is outer curve of the arches. And osier, that is a wedge shaped unit forming the course of an arch. Next, springer, this is a first osier at springing level. There will be a springer, that is the first osier. And next, crown, that is the highest point of the extrude, that is called highest point of the extrude. And next, key, this is a wedge shaped unit at the crown, keystone, that is at the crown. So starting point of the stone, that is called keystone, which is kept in a higher point. Next, abutment. So abutment is not mentioned here. Abutment means the arches should be placed in between two supports, end support of the arches. Next, springing point, that is also not shown. So here this is a springing point, and springing line, that is an imaginary line, so connecting two springing point. So this is the starting point of the first arch, and this is the end point of the arch. So line which is joining first starting or end, so that is called springing line. Next, haunch. Haunch is a curve shaped as shown in figure. Imposed, that is abutment is provided between the two arches, so we have to provide imposed at the top of the abutment or support. So these are the important elements of the arch. So this is a behavior if you're providing arches. So after the loading, so what is the behavior? So this is one figure as shown. Next, in your syllabus only arches in foundation is included, so I'm going to explain about arches in foundation. So usually inverted arch foundation should be considered. So this is a inverted. So at the starting, so either you can go for stone, brick or concrete, or brick or in second layer you can go for brick or concrete. Then the pillar should be provided, footing should be given with the concrete, and then the wall should be constructed. So this is a inverted for arch foundation. Usually we will go for inverted arch foundation. So you can see here this is a inverted. So you can observe this is one of the figure of arch foundation, which is more economical. If you're using arch foundation, more economical than other type of foundation. The material can be reduced, and it is also giving good strength to the walls. So uses of arches in a foundation. Arches have been used economic alternative to the conventional spread footings of walls of residential building. The arch can be constructed using masonry, plain cement concrete and reinforced cement concrete. You can go for plain cement concrete and RCC, and also you can go for PPC also. Any shape of the arch can be chosen. Usually, as per the research, one of the researcher Diodar, he has mentioned parabolic arches are more preferable than the other shape of the arches, which is more stronger, which will give strength or load carrying capacity is twice that of the circular arches. Arches are analyzed as two-hinged arches subjected to uniformly distributed throughout the span. The uniformly distributed load that gets realized on the arch is due to brick masonry wall and slab supported by the wall. The thickness of the arch depends on the magnitude of load acting. So next I am going to explain constructing arches in foundation. While constructing arches in foundation, the spans are very important. So span and how the arches should be laid, the position of the arches, that is very important. Therefore, first you have to fix span and position of the arches. The span and position of the arches are fixed suitably based on the positions of the walls in the building. Usually we will take span varies from 2 meter to 4.5 meter. Next step, you have to excavate the pit. Pits of suitable size are excavated for pillars at all junctions of arches where you are providing the arches. So near the junctions you have to provide the pillars. A minimum pit size of 1 meter into 1 meter into 1 meter should be adopted. Next, natural ground in between pits is trimmed to the arch shape, so that crown of the arch should be at ground level. The rise of the arch should be as the highest feasible to keep the horizontal thrust low. This is the third step. Next, fourth step, you have to, in the excavated pits, pillars, you can go for pillars, masonry or cement concrete or reinforced concrete. you have to excavate up to springing level, and then it should be constructed with the ratio of 1:4:8 cement concrete bed, with the thickness of the bed is equal to 100 mm. So these pillars will give support to the arch and transfer the load from arch to the soil. Next, arch of design thickness is constructed. If masonry is used, then arch is constructed by placing the masonry units radially on the prepared surface, starting from the springing level and proceeding towards the crown. So you have to, if you're using masonry, then you have to